The Spirit of Atlanta from Atlanta, Georgia. The Madison Scouts of Madison, Wisconsin. Tampa Bay's Suncoast Sound. The Phantom Regiment of Rockford, Illinois. The Garfield Cadets of Garfield, New Jersey. The Santa Clara Vanguard from Santa Clara, California. And the Blue Devils from Concord, California. Those corps got here by the process of a grueling week-long elimination tournament here at the Orange Bowl. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Rondinero. Welcome to our 1983 edition of the DCI World Championship Highlights. This show certainly is the culmination of a long summer competition season for these corps. 53 corps were in the tournament. These 12 tonight are the cream of the crop, vying for the crown jewel, the DCI Championship. Joining us tonight to watch the telecast with you at home and to provide some expert analysis and some interaction is Pat Birch on my right. Pat has some splendid credentials from Broadway and motion picture. Productions include Grease, A Little Night Music. She's also on the staff of Saturday Night Live. Pat, you saw some of the semifinals last night. Coming from Broadway to this for the first time, what were your reactions?
Overwhelmed. Their vitality is incredible. Their precision is wonderful. They're original. And for kids the age that they are, it's quite frightening. I think we better watch out on Broadway. They're nipping at our heels.
You're expecting a lot tonight, then?
Oh, I am. I've got my favorites. We'll see.
All right, we'll get that out of you as the night goes on. Great. On my left is a fellow whose music has become warmly embraced by many drum corps that competed here tonight. And it wasn't too many years ago that it seemed like every corps in the country was playing Chuck Mangioni's Children of Sanchez. Chuck, this is your first competition, right?
That's right. I'm thrilled to be here. You know, I'm getting goosebumps just listening to these people playing in the background. And I never thought of music as being competitive, so it's going to be an interesting evening for me. I know everybody who's here tonight is really a winner. You know, when you get down to the last 12, it's like getting a Grammy nomination. You've already won, and these people should be proud of what they're doing, and I'm looking forward to hearing the music they're going to make.
We'll look forward to picking your brain as we go along tonight. Great. I get myself in a little bit of trouble every year, of course, with Reliable Rondo's predictions. The only thing reliable about them is their rondos. Beyond that, we'll stick our neck out a little bit and see what, if we can call a little bit of what we think might happen tonight. It seems like there are four basic groups in the top 12 competing here this evening. The Skyriders, Bridgman, Cavaliers, and 27th comprising that first group, and there could be some movement in that cluster. Cavaliers might make a little bit of a move up. Bridgman came smoking in here with a strong show to get in the top 12. They could make a move as well. Freelancers should hold their ground, and then comes the bracket with Spirit of Atlanta, the Madison Scouts, and Suncoast Sound. We could see some movement in there as well. That could really shift about. Phantom Regiment will hold their ground in fourth, and then comes the spot that everybody is looking at, the top three. Garfield came in the favorites. They were undefeated, but Santa Clara really had a burn-on in the semifinals last night and won. First time Garfield was beaten all year. The Devils and Garfield tied for second place at 91.15. Anything could happen. I'm going to stick my neck out and say Garfield is going to take the marbles tonight, and that'll be the first time in the history of DCI that an Eastern Corps has won it. We'll see what happens, so you want to stick with us and see how far I missed the mark. Right now we're going to go upstairs and treat you to the first event of the evening, our first competing corps, the Skyriders from Hutchinson, Kansas. crowd loves it. Chuck, your reaction now. You've just seen your first competitive drum corps.
I'm knocked out. If that's the bottom of the list of the 12, boy, I don't know if I'm going to live through what's happening tonight. I can't describe how I feel about the time being locked in with musicians being spread so far across the field. They're moving at the same time. They're playing in tune. They're playing with dynamics. The low brass, which I never thought was possible with this kind of a group, sounded wonderful. And they were cooking as far as I was concerned. They were a class performance as far as I was concerned. It wasn't overdone. There wasn't anything outrageous happening. It was really just honest, good performance. I was knocked out.
It gets better from here. Kathy ended with a real splash of color.
Oh, splash of color. The design, their design all the way through is wonderful. Their design seems to match the dynamics of the music beautifully. The mood changes, the whole thing. I just find incredible. How can they be so low on the list? They're wonderful.
Drum corps at this level that we're seeing tonight are generally made up of over 100 people. Now you're seeing 12 corps in competition, so that's about 1,200 people out there competing this evening. Men and women from all over the United States, and although the members perform in absolute precision, still the individual member that makes every corps unique, gives it its special identity. Now here's a look at one such person. Michael Kletch is the drum major of the Garfield Cadets.
My name is Michael Kletch, and I'm from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I'm here at Whitewater with the Garfield Cadets Drum Bugle Corps from Garfield, New Jersey. I'm a music education major at Westchester State College in Westchester, Pennsylvania, where I am a vocal choral concentration. I became interested in drum corps during my high school years through my band director and related activities in school. And when I came to college, I met a lot of people who were traveling to various corps around the East Coast. So I decided it was something that I wanted to get into, to find out just what the activity was all about, seeing how that's what I wanted to go into in my educational field. So I went to a few drum corps, and I ended up at Garfield mainly because I liked the people there. This is the bottom line. I just liked the people and the ideals that the drum corps had to offer. Every night before we go on the field for a competition, our director stands back there and says one thing to us. He says, go out there and do the best job that you can do, which is basically the whole philosophy of the Garfield Cadets. We go out to compete against nobody but ourselves. And we do go out on the field to do the best job that we can do. Do a show tonight, do something better that you did the night before. Play your horn a little bit better, take some ticks out of the drum, do the color guard work better. Just do something better that you haven't been doing up until this point. That's how we gauge the progressive success of our drum corps show. We go out on the field to be innovative, to be creative, and to be musical. Those are the ideas that we like to get across to the audience. Have them truly appreciate all the visual and audio things that are going down on the field. Just put a beautiful presentation of flow and music, something that I like to think of as not being exactly drum corps, just being something beautiful that a drum corps is doing on the field.
Our second corps of the night is the Bridgemen from Bayonne, New Jersey. They had a very strong drum performance, helped to catapult them here into the finals tonight.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Chick Corea's music. Anybody
Big
know
sound.
that?
Waiting for Godot.
Ah.
Color Guard has changed uniform on us, helping to change the mood. They've also apparently gone to different banners. This is the percussion feature. This was last year's top drumline in the country. Something to watch their stick work. Oh my, the crowd loves it. The Bridgmen say, we love you too. On their feet here at Miami's Orange Bowl. Bridgmen of Bayonne, New Jersey. That they certainly are very different than the Skywriters, so you've got two corps to compare now.
They're right off the streets, and yet it's organized fun. Choreography's excellent. The kids move extremely well, and the whole band dances. I lost the whole color corps thinking, remember I said to you how did they change back into the yellow coats so fast, and I suddenly realized, no, those are the guys on the horns dancing, and the color guard was further back. Everybody dances. They're overwhelming. They're just plain overwhelming and enormously theatrical.
Very, very different
Enormously
styles.
theatrical.
Chuck, the percussion line, one of the best in the country.
Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't figure out what to watch or what to listen to with that band. I'd like to see a video replay of all of that to figure out what was happening. I love to see people having that much fun making music, and they certainly are. They played I've Got a Bad and That Ain't Good, but they feel so good out there, I'll tell you that. That's a wonderful, entertaining group. I enjoyed it very much.
Hi, my name is Patty Feruzzi. I'm from the Garfield Cadets. I've been in 7 years in the Garfield Cadets. I'm in the color guard. I've come back every year for the pain and the sweat, every year to see how well we can do, and this year we're doing fairly well. I just hope at the end of the year we just get what we're working for.
Hi, my name is Rick Lund. I'm with the Cavaliers Drum and Bugle Corps. I've been asked a lot of times why I do this. At first off, I would say it's probably for the performances. There's not too much of a chance for people my age. Started when I was 16, now 21. Not too much of a chance for you to do something like this, perform in front of this many people. That's primarily why I say I do it now. At first, it's pretty much an addiction. Drum corps is an addiction.
These are the Cavaliers of Rosemont, Illinois. What a gorgeous, gorgeous finish.
Beautiful.
The Cavaliers. Chuck, that which we just witnessed in the Pines of Rome, that dynamic control in that build.
I'll tell you that, the quality of musicianship, where we're about 6 or 7 different soloists, individuals. Usually I thought there might be 1 or 2 people within a corps that could stand up and be featured, but there were several. And the precision and the percussion wasn't overdone, but it sure was strong. And the end of that piece, when you heard the bottom brass, I don't know, man, they're in trouble. That's why I never wanted to be a critic, and I hate to be a judge. I'd love to come up here and have a good time. I'm glad somebody else has to decide what's going to happen tonight.
Well, it comes down to hundredths and tenths of a point. Matter of fact, the 13th place corps that just missed the cut here was knocked out by a tenth of a point.
Oh.
They're critical. Very, very critical. Pat, you commented again on their dancing throughout.
I'm amazed when you think that these are, boys, young men between the ages of 13 and 21. I know when we audition in New York for boys that can dance between the ages of 13 and 18, you get 2 out of 300. And these kids can really move, and they move well. Not only that, they're twirling, they're catching guns, they're changing flags. I've never seen so much good coordination ever. They must be really devoted, and there's a total togetherness about it, lack of ego. It's quite wonderful.
How you doing? I'm Chuck. Where's your drum corps from?
My drum corps is from Pembroke Pines, Florida, really representing the Miami area,
Great.
Florida Wave. And my name's Dean.
Hi, Dean. How are you?
Leo Molina from the Bayonne Bridgman.
Where's that?
Bayonne Bridgman,
What city?
New Jersey.
Ah, New Jersey. All right. Who's this?
Chris Davis. I'm from North Carolina. I'm also with the Bridgman.
Uh-oh. You guys are honkers, huh?
We try.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Oh, it's great. We're a little different. The Bridgmen are a little different from other drum corps.
Why?
Why? We're a circus. To me, it's like joining a circus as opposed to joining boot camp.
You mean you have a great time?
It's great.
Yeah.
We work just as hard as anybody else, but we have I don't know, maybe other drum corps have fun too, but we sure have fun.
Well, that's what music's all about, I think, really. I think music is one of God's greatest gifts to man. It's where people go when they're hurting. It's where they go when they're happiest. And you guys really have an opportunity to give something to people, to take them away from the madness of everyday life, and to go out there. And you should have a good time with what you're doing. Do you play the same program then pretty much all the time, but it's different every night, isn't it? When you go to front of another audience every night, it's not like you crank it out on a Xerox machine or something. It's always something.
No. Every night you perform, you try to get better and better. Therefore, it's a different show. To me, you should consider it a different show. Not just the same old thing over and over again.
Yeah.
You always have to add something. Even when instructors don't add something, mentally you should add something. It should be better each time.
How much does the crowd affect what you do?
It's like night and day. If you feel the crowd going with you, man, you're just going to pick yourself up that little bit more and just, here it is from the heart. We're giving you that much more.
So in other words, just like being in the World Series now, you got the crowd and all the best people are here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a good time tonight.
Last one for me.
It is?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm 20, and I'll be leaving the Corps because I'm moving on to the Air Force, but Chris is aging out, right? He's aging out.
In other words, the groups that are playing tonight, what is the age span?
You can be in it as long as you're 21 years old.
Up to
It's
20.
from 14 to your 22nd birthday is the cutoff date.
I mean, there's not a corps that I could get into.
Yeah, there is a corps you can get into. They have senior corps.
They use horns, flugelhorns. They let one of these in, or is it got to
You
be?
cut a valve off of it.
Which one do I have to cut off? The third one. Yeah, I tried one of those things one time. Those are not easy to play. You know? They really aren't. I got a lot of respect for what you people do, and I'm glad I got a chance to be here. I'll be looking at all of you tonight too.
Taking the field now, the 27th Lancers from Revere, Massachusetts. '27, certainly a very physical performance as well, and on a night like this, it's tough.